Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Thrive in 5 podcast. Now, over the last couple of episodes, we've been having some chats about stress. Not just that occasional it's been a stressful day sort of stress, but that sort of stress that builds up over time, the background hum of tension and anxiety that never really goes away. On Monday, we talked a little bit about the emotional weight a lot of us are carrying right now, the fact the world just feels heavy, and the fact that there's almost this constant bubble of stress in the background. And yesterday I shared my own story of a time when that weight felt particularly heavy during the pandemic, when I convinced myself that if I just understood everything, I'd feel more in control, which, spoiler alert, I didn't. And today I wanted to kind of bring this all together with a really important message that de-stressing isn't something that will just happen. It's something you have to be deliberate and intentional about. And not in a sort of, it's another thing on my to-do list to have to do, be less stressed. Not in like a Pinterest perfect self-care bubble bath sort of a way, but in a really practical way that connects your body and your mind, because that is where you find a less stressful life. The fact is, most of us don't know how to relax. We know how to collapse in front of the TV. We know how to scroll for 2 hours until our thumbs hurt and our brains feel numb and we've ended up in some dark corner of the internet. We know how to pour a glass of wine and say, I deserve this. But that is not the same as actually de-stressing. Those are sort of sticking plasters. Those are numbing out from the stress rather than actually bringing the stress levels down. That's like putting a stopper in the bottle of wine rather than tipping it down the sink. Not that anyone should do that, but you know what I mean. The truth is, for most professional women, the default is to just keep going, power on, crack on, put a brave face on it. And even when we're not working, when we're off the clock, our minds are still racing, thinking about work, thinking about food, thinking about the washing machine making a weird noise, or what the dog might need, or what the kids need, or booking a holiday, or planning ahead. Like, we're in this place where our brains are constantly rolling. And then we wonder why we feel tense all the time. Relaxing, truly regulating your nervous system, getting your stress levels down, it doesn't come from stopping. Lying on the sofa, watching TV, drinking a glass of wine, that is not bringing your stress levels down. That is putting a pause on them. Actually bringing those stress levels down comes from reconnecting with your body. It's one of the reasons I am so passionate about professional women spending time on their health and fitness, because reconnecting with your body, that is how you feel better in yourself. Most professional women are very good. Excuse me. I'm not going to edit that out. This is a real podcast. Most professional women are very good at disconnecting from their bodies. They are used to powering on through pain, through discomfort, through stress and anxiety, and showing up regardless. And so they disconnect from what their body's telling them. They don't listen to what their appetite says. They don't listen to what their body says about being ill or anything like that. And so they disconnect from it. And that impacts your relationship with your body, your relationship with food, your ability to a whole bunch of things, your ability to enjoy your life, and your ability to be less stressed. In the wellness, health and fitness world, we talk a lot about mindset. People talk a lot about having a positive mindset, having a good mindset. But when it comes to stress, we have to realize that it's not just in our minds. Stress isn't just in your head, it's in your body as well. It's in your shoulders, your jaw, your gut, your sleep, your energy levels. Your body carries that stress within you. And if you are not releasing that stress physically, you're not recovering. If that tension and that pressure is still there, your stress levels, the actual levels of stress hormone in your body won't go down. That is why even when things seem calm, you still feel wound up. And it's why that finding things that help your body to connect with your mind again is the most important part of stress relief, particularly for professional women. So let's talk about the practical things you can actually do to do this. How can we actually bring our stress levels down? Now, the obvious one, and don't stop listening now, but the obvious one is movement. Doing some form of exercise. That can be going to the gym. That's a great way to reconnect with your body. That can be going for a run. That's a great way to reconnect with your body. But that can also be just gentle forms of movement. It can be going for a walk in the fresh air. It can be doing a quick stretch while watching TV. It can be sitting at your desk, pulling your desk chair back and just moving your arms around and having a good stretch and getting some of that pressure out. It can be sticking on some music and having a little dance around your kitchen. Movement helps discharge the adrenaline that builds up with stress, and you can get that energy out through doing a more intense workout, doing a workout, going for a run, or you can do that through just going for a quick walk, having a stretch, or just having a good shake and a dance around. Something that I do personally, which massively helps, is I go for runs regularly, but on one of my runs, I make sure that I run and smile. And I run and I just make it fun. I don't worry about how fast I'm going. I just run like a child would, like Phoebe and Friends, like crazy run for the last few minutes of my run. And it is such a great way to boost your mood, like running like a lunatic. Would recommend it. Something that is also massively underrated is doing something that uses your hands. I talked in kind of earlier in the episode about the importance of reconnecting your body and your mind. And actually think if you can do something that connects your body and your mind, it allows you to de-stress. And for me, the biggest thing for me that's helped with this is actually reconnecting with doing music. I was a music scholar at school many years ago. I played the viola. It was a rogue instrument. I was a bit deaf, so I couldn't play the violin. I played piano as well and guitar and various other things. And since being a grown-up, I don't play those things anymore, but I do have singing lessons. I used to sing as a kid and I love musical theatre, so I have a singing lesson once a week where I go and I learn how to sing musical theatre. And it's such a great way to reconnect with my body because I'm playing an instrument I can't see, which is always interesting, and it allows me to really think about what my body's doing and produce something that feels good. Singing feels great. That's a great way to reconnect your body and your brain. Pilates is another great example. Like, yes, it's a form of movement, but I find that really good because I have to think so hard about what I'm doing when I'm trying to connect my core. So it's a great way to connect my body and my brain. But it could also be something like knitting or baking or watering your plants, doing gardening. My mum loves gardening. She finds that really de-stressing. It could be doing a jigsaw or cooking or doing a bit of DIY, painting your nails, doing your makeup. All of those things allow you to connect your body and your brain in a particular way. I even find, this is really sad, but plucking my eyebrows, I find it a really great way to connect my body and my brain because I have to concentrate or I end up looking very lopsided. But it just means I can't think about anything else while I'm doing it. Another thing that really can help is to have a 10-minute productivity boost. And this doesn't have to be work. It shouldn't be work, in fact. But set a timer for 10 minutes, put some music on, and set yourself a task you're going to do in that 10 minutes. I do this every week when it comes to tidying my office. My office for work gets really messy during the week when I'm doing stuff. So I set a timer every Sunday night for 10 minutes and I just go around and blitz it. And it is so satisfying to get to the end having done something without any distraction. If I just said tidy my office, I wouldn't get it done. But having that timer, having that deadline is incredibly rewarding. And that little reward brings your stress levels down. Another thing that's really beneficial is just getting outside. Nature changes your nervous system. When we live in kind of a very artificial environment, we're in very square rooms. That's not what nature's like. Nature is all curvy and bendy, and that is really relaxing for our brain. So if you can get outside and breathe some fresh air, that allows your brain and your body to connect because your brain sees the thing, it sees what it looks like, and your body feels the fresh air, and that allows your brain and body to connect. And then the final thing, this is a little bit different, is just to give your brain some closure. A lot of the time we feel stressed because we've got unfinished business in our head. We've got something going on that we've not quite processed, and actually getting that out can really help. I am a massive fan of a to-do list. I do journal, but to be honest, my biggest form of journaling is just writing lists. So every day, at the end of every day, I write down a list of all the things I've done, and I write down a list of all the things I have to do. And it is so powerful to help bring my stress levels down at the end of the day. Would highly recommend it. You can do it as a list. You can even just do it as a message to a friend or a voice note. So why having a coach is really beneficial. A lot of my team will send me little voice notes with things they want to chat through just to get it out. Because saying something aloud, giving your brain a chance to put some closure on something is really, really powerful. So the message today is this. Feeling less stress won't just happen when you get to Friday or Thursday for bank holiday like this week, or when your to-do list is done, because your to-do list is never done. You have to be intentional in creating that space for calm on purpose, not as something you do once everything else is done, but as a requirement. It doesn't need to be a big dramatic thing of meditation and plinky plonky music and candles on. It can literally be a quiet moment outside, or tinkering around on a piano, or tidying a drawer up, or taking a single deep breath with the window open. These are not small things. These are really life-saving things that when it comes to managing stress without hitting burnout. I hope you found this episode useful. I am going to be doing a Q&A episode tomorrow, and then over the bank holiday weekend, I am doing a little bank holiday survival toolkit mini-series, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If this episode gave you something useful, make sure you subscribe and share it with a friend who might need to hear it. And yeah, I will speak to you tomorrow for the Q&A.